This is Brother Jamal coming to you. I wanted to bring you this message um, this morning. We know we're in the day of Juma prayer for the Muslims all over the world, Friday, Juma prayer. We encourage you, if you hear this video or you get this video, we encourage you to, inshallah, try your best to make Juma prayer today. This is our day of worship, Friday. The reason I wanted to bring this message to you this morning, we're into the holiday season, and this message, inshallah, is just talk and advice. I make it real short and I make it brief. Um, the advice is that most times during this time of year, during the holiday season, if you want to begin with Thanksgiving all the way up to after New Year's and beyond that, the holidays has a way of taking a toll on people, on individuals, on people's families, loved ones, just the whole thing. And let me just give you a little history. It used to be a time when I was growing up where I remember my mother, I remember my auntie, I remember all of the people that I grew up with, and even my neighbors. That was a time, we're talking about 1950, 1955, 1960, even 1970, 1980. There was a time when people just enjoyed being off from work, having a day off, first of all, and being able to enjoy their families and their loved ones. And I remember my mother would tell me to go across the street to check and see if Miss So-and-so has got food. Go next door, to my right, to my left, across the street, to see if people had food. Now, mind you, we didn't have a whole lot of food, but what I would watch my mother do was, if any of the neighbors didn't have food, we would share what we had with them, and vice versa. And nobody got all bent out of shape about the added things that you see people doing today. This is why I say we have to understand everything that is present today. It has a history and it has a beginning, and this is why it's important for us to understand the beginning of things. So what people was doing at that time was enjoying the fact of being off from work and being home with their families and having a day off of work. That's all people was concerned about. They weren't concerned about buying this, buying that, getting themselves in debt, getting upset, getting mad. They weren't concerned about none of that. Today's time that we live in now, because of the social media, the mass media, and the psychological brainwashing that it's been able to do to the people's minds over a period of time. See, all this is calculated, y'all. And so what has happened, today's time, you see more people, number one, more people get depressed. More people take in alcohol. More people decided to get high. More people decide to commit suicide. All kind of destructive things you see go on during this period of time. And we are saying that we're advising. This is only advice. As I advise myself, I advise you that do not let yourself slip into a depression during this time of the year. Do not let yourself slip your mind slip into thinking about committing suicide, thinking about hurting someone else. It could be yourself, it could be a family member, husband, boyfriend, girlfriend, kids, cousins, relatives. Do not let your mind slip into that state. Do not let your mind slip into the state of getting yourself in debt, taking out loans that you have to struggle and work the rest of the year trying to pay that back. See, getting yourself in debt and borrowing money or getting money that you know that you don't have to make someone happy, to buy a bunch of gifts, to buy this, to buy that, or getting yourself upset or depressed because you didn't get this, you didn't get that. So and so got this and I didn't get that. All kind of crazy remedies that a person go through in their mind during the holiday season, because this is the kind of pressure, see, through psychological mass media they put on the people's minds. And so I just encourage you, do not let yourself fall prey to that. This whole weekend, people will be celebrating whatever they celebrate or whoever they celebrate. This is what they'll be doing. See, and they celebrated through gifts, through buying gifts. They celebrated through alcohol. They celebrated through getting high. They celebrated through fighting. You know, who can do the most harm and who can do the most damage. You know, some people go to the extent to end up, they say, Allah knows best, they say that during the holiday season, the suicide rate, it escalates during this time of the year. The suicide rate does, because you see more people committing suicide, and suicide is not the answer. It's not only the answer, it's not the solution to anything. Suicide, I repeat myself, is not the answer and it's not the solution to anything. Once again, this is Brother Jamal with a little bit of advice and a little bit of talk. Even as we go through the next couple of days and into next week, people will be doing, you'll probably hear, see, witness some crazy, bizarre things people are doing, will do. And you probably be shocked when you hear about them. But do not be surprised about anything that you see, hear, witness, see on the news, read in the news. Do not be surprised. And the sad thing about it, in the black community, we seem like we are the ones who do the most bizarre, crazy things. We seem like that we do. When I look sometime on social media, you know, Instagram, sometime on Facebook, and look at some of the crazy stuff that people be posting, that gives you a prime example and lets you know where people's minds are at. That lets you know. To the things sometimes that women will do, sometimes that girls will do to get attention seekers. Some of the crazy stuff that people will post to get attention. See, and with the sick society that we're living in, these are the kind of things that end up getting you to cause you to end up losing your life, or you will get hurt, or something seriously will happen to you, or you will come up missing. When I look at some of the crazy stuff that people be posting on Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, all the sites you're talking about, social media, the crazy stuff that people be thinking about, you have to ask yourself the question, what was they thinking about, or was they thinking at all when they did this, or when they did that, when they posted this, when they posted that? Because that's the question you have to ask yourself. And so it gives you a good idea of the state of mind that people are in during this time of year. And not only this time of year, just the state of mind that the society that the world is in. See? And let me also, too, say to people, be real careful about when you go to cursing about this virus is happening. You go to cursing God, and you go to saying all kind of despicable and defaming God and saying things. Every single thing in the creation, it happens for a reason. See, every single thing happens for a reason. Whether we understand it or not, that's not the object of it. When Almighty Allah decides to bring about something, it is for a reason. Unseen reason. We don't know. We may not never know. We do not have the answers. And by us cursing and saying all kind of derogatory things about God, to God, and question what he does, then all you are doing is just putting yourself deeper down in the hellfire. That's all you're doing. You're not hurting God, but you're hurting yourself. And those words that come out of your mouth that you say, they will do you more harm than they will anybody else, because the angels are recording every single thing that you say, every single thing that you do is being recorded. So once again, just some advice as I remind myself and remind you. This is a time of year that we should, inshallah, we should be thankful for what we have and what we do not have. We should be thankful and grateful. Nothing else. That Allah has spared his mercy to be grateful and to be thankful.